Here we are. Good morning, everybody. I'm very happy to be here with you. We're going to go over some functional medicine how-tos for the independent pharmacy and how you can kind of start working it into your normal workflow. Today, we are going to be talking about how to do this if you want to, or how you can start getting this into your pharmacy without you physically doing it. And then we're also going to talk about some different resources that you can use to get more information if that is something that you need help with. So if you're thinking to yourself, well, yes, I know I want to do this, but I don't know where, no matter where you are in the process, you don't know where to begin. Maybe you know a little bit, but you want to learn more, or you might even want to dive fully into it with an actual certification. You have options. So you can really make this what you want it to be. So this video is for independent pharmacy owners or staff members of independent pharmacies who want to go ahead and start implementing some different functional medicine services into your existing setting. And I'm here today to tell you some different ways that you can go ahead and do that if you want to go ahead and do that yourself, or if you want to go ahead and get that going in your pharmacy, but you don't actually want to be the person doing it. And then again, we're going to go over some different ways where you can find additional information, either paid or free, and the length of commitment for these different programs. Also, I should say the time commitment for these different programs also varies drastically from, a quick webinar or quick blog to a full-blown, 2-3 year certification. So whatever you're interested in, you can make functional medicine whatever you want it to be, and I'm here today to tell you a couple different things that I would do. So first thing I want to talk about is how to start implementing functional medicine in your pharmacy if you don't want to do it yourself as the pharmacy owner or maybe the pharmacist in charge. I say pick a person. Take one of your staff, or during a staff meeting, see who volunteers for that. I know that sounds silly, but I think a lot of times, especially as pharmacists, we're very analytical and controlling. We want to control it all, but we need to delegate. And so in order to do more things and serve our communities in the ways that we all want to serve our communities, we have to start delegating. And so I'm sure that every single pharmacy has at least one person who's interested in a more holistic approach to health and wellness. Yes, we love pharmacy. Yes, we love the standard of care and traditional medicine and all the things that pharmaceuticals can do for us. But we also know that there is this whole other world of more holistic. So take a poll of your staff members that are already there and see who might already be interested, because I can almost guarantee you that there is somebody who is already very interested in functional medicine, and you can make that person the person who starts to bring that into your pharmacy. It doesn't have to be a pharmacist. That might be a little bit more ideal if it were an actual pharmacist, but it doesn't have to be a pharmacist. You can have one of your lead technicians, or maybe you have a supplement specialist staffed. Then that is somebody who could also start bringing that type of clientele and that information into your pharmacy. So delegate. That would be the thing that I want you to take away from this video, and I'm not going to drag this point out. But I want you to think to yourself, okay, how can I delegate this? And who can I delegate this to if I'm not the one who wants to implement the functional medicine piece of my business? Yes, I want to bring functional medicine in, but I don't want to do it myself. Who can I give this to? And then if you're looking at your staff, honestly, just look for volunteers. See who's already interested in the space and give it to them. So then your next question might be, okay, I know who I want to give this to, but I don't even know what to do once I give it to them. And that is why that's what I'm going to dive into right now. There's 1,000,001 different resources out there that you can use to educate yourself in the functional medicine space. So I have a list of them here, so I apologize if I'm looking down as I talk to you, but I'm going to start off with the free ones because, come on, everything's super expensive. Inflation is making it even more expensive. So all the free options. So your free resources are obviously all online, but you can get a ton of free information from supplement companies and from testing companies. So different supplement companies, all you have to do, since you're a pharmacist, you have the ability, or a pharmacy in general, you have the ability to create wholesale accounts with these different supplement companies. So just like you do with your different prescription pharmaceutical distributors, like McKesson and all of those people, you can also go and create wholesale accounts with different supplement companies. So you can do it with an overarching company like Emerson Ecologics. That's a big company that sells a multitude of different brands. It's a kind of an umbrella company. Emerson Ecologics. You can go on there, create a wholesale account. Not only does it give you the benefits of purchasing a bunch of different, good quality supplements at wholesale prices, but then you also have the information that they provide on their site that is just free resources about the different supplements and the benefits of them, and they even go into different disease states and whatnot. So the second one that I would say, so Emerson Ecologics is a company that sells a multitude of different brands. But then all the different brands you can go into and also purchase directly from a lot of the different brands. So a couple of the top ones that you've probably already seen people talking about are things like Orthomolecular, Thorne, Pure Encapsulations. I also am a really big fan of Designs for Health. These are all very good quality supplements that maybe your big box store down the street or around the corner isn't selling. So you can not only sign up to purchase directly from them, but then you can also take advantage of all the free information that they have you'll have at your disposal once you create that account. So the information, how are you gaining access to that information? So first of all, you're going to have access because you now have a practitioner account. The second way is that you'll be automatically put on their email list, so you'll start to get emails and notifications about different blogs that they put out or webinars that they're hosting. Tons of free resources just right there. The other thing I wanted to say is that a nice way to start implementing functional medicine type of approaches in your pharmacy is by targeting nutrient depletion with regard to drug-induced nutrient depletion. And Orthomolecular, again, if you don't know exactly where to start with that, Orthomolecular has a whole program that dives into that, and I will share the link below. I have absolutely no affiliation with them whatsoever, and to be honest with you, I haven't even I've never done this program myself, but it looks pretty cut and dry. So they call it their Replete program, and again, I'll put it in the comments below, but it seems like it is a guide on how to start conversations about drug-induced nutrient depletion, and that way you can start targeting some of those patients that are coming in to pick up their prescriptions and help educate them on what nutrients might be being depleted just simply because they're taking that prescription. So they need that prescription, obviously, but how can we support the body as we do that? So those are some great free resources. Obviously, that Replete program, there is a fee. I don't know what that fee is, but Orthomolecular is a great product. The other thing that I will say is, as you're kind of maybe diving into all of this, look around at do a little bit of market research. See what the community already has. So if you have a lot of independent pharmacy competition around you, what are they already selling, and how can you maybe bring something different in and sell that product instead, so you could be the place where that product can be purchased, rather than maybe selling, again, maybe Orthomolecular. The pharmacy down the road already sells Orthomolecular, so maybe you want to go with Designs for Health or a different company. Standard Process is another really great company, and they have really fantastic resources, free resources as well. They go into some different detoxes and whatnot, so you can run some different programs. And honestly, the sky's the limit. If you never want to do anything further, You don't want to get a certification. You don't have to. If you don't want to dive into all of that, these supplement companies, just by creating a wholesale account with them and that practitioner account, opens you up to all kinds of free information, and then you can it'll kind of snowball from there. So another place is, if you're a compounding pharmacy, then don't forget about these organizations that you already have accounts with. A lot of them have information in this area as well. So PCCA, Mediska, Fogron, those companies have tons of information. So let's not forget about the people that we're already doing business with. Maybe you're already paying a subscription fee. What kind of functional medicine information do they have out there? And let's go back to the very first thing that I said. If I, as the pharmacy owner or pharmacist in charge, don't want to do it myself, who am I delegating this to? Then tell that person that is interested in the functional medicine arena and is going to start rolling these services out in your independent pharmacy, have them start doing this research. Who can we make accounts with? What are the perks and the benefits of having them? Do they have a subscription fee? Are they completely free? What type of webinars do they have? Have that person do all this legwork. You don't need to do all the digging, because your time is better spent doing something else, especially if this isn't your zone of genius or really an area that you have any interest in. You just want to bring it into your pharmacy. So the last place that I would say has a ton of free resources are the different specialty kit companies. So if your state allows you to, and you want to start getting into maybe selling some different specialty kits. Now, what do I mean by specialty kits? I mean like hormone panels. There's a couple different big companies out there. One is called Dutch, Dutch. They are a huge hormone panel testing company. They do it via urine collection. I'm sure you're familiar with ZRT. They are a big saliva collection testing company that does hormone panels. And then also, don't forget like gut dysbiosis. You can do things like GI map by Precision Analytics. You can do the GI effects test by Genova. So there are all these different types of companies. Maybe you want to start offering food sensitivity panels. I would say if you're not familiar with this space and you're not really sure if you want to get into it, seems a little convoluted, food sensitivity is the easiest place to start. And it's simple for people to start to kind of like wrap their head around. And often food is the trigger for a lot of our different diseases and conditions. So you can really make a huge impact if you can help people identify their food sensitivities and kind of help them change their diet in a more positive direction. So one of my favorite food sensitivity companies is, I always mix up the letters. It's KBMO. I always want to say KMBO for some reason, but it's KBMO, and I'll kind of put them below too. Again, I have no affiliation with any of these companies, but they are an extremely reputable food sensitivity company. And again, just by making a practitioner account, you gain a ton of access to all of their functional medicine type information and food sensitivity type information that you can then roll out to your community. And so those are all free. So we go to food sensitivity companies like KBMO. We go to hormone panel companies like Dutch Testing or ZRT Laboratories. We go to GI imbalance or gut dysbiosis companies like Precision Analytics for the GI map, or the GI effects test through Genova. GI map is Diagnostic Solutions. The Dutch panel is Precision Analytics. And so those companies all have free resources. You can, even if you don't ever buy their kits, if you just want to sign up and see what happens, then you don't have to buy their kits to create a practitioner account and start getting all of that free information from them. So those are some really, really good places to start that are free. And then if you really want to dive in, I would say the 3 most reputable companies to dive into a full-blown certification, or if you just wanted to buy like a chunk of information, maybe you're interested in hormones. Hormones are a great place to be interested in if you already do compounding. I know that the compounding world is convoluted right now, but my personal opinion is until it is USP 800 mandated, then let's just see what we can do in the meantime, because it's been years of them threatening this whole hazardous and non-hazardous thing. So hormones is a great place to start if you already have existing compounds that you're doing, and if you want to increase compounds. Hormones is fantastic. But again, you can buy specific packages if you want hormones or you like detox, depending on what your area of interest in, or whatever the area of interest is for the person you're delegating this to, then you can buy little chunks. But the three companies are for large certifications that will be much more time consuming and are definitely things that you pay for, are SAFM, which is the School of Applied Functional Medicine, IFM, which is the Institute of Functional Medicine, and then A4M, which is, I believe it's the Anti-Aging Medicine. Let me see exactly what that stands for. I have bought a couple different courses through them, because you can, through A4M, it's the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine. I'm sorry I didn't know that from the very beginning, but they are an extremely reputable company when it comes to functional medicine certifications and education, and you can definitely buy specific things from them, and they have a couple sales throughout the year. I was able to catch a good sale, I think it was around Thanksgiving last year, maybe the Black Friday. A lot of their certification courses were half off, and they are extremely informative. A4M focuses more towards the practitioner end, so think prescriber, PA, NP, MD. They're really targeted towards them. Obviously, we are more than capable of handling that type of information, but we're not obviously able to do the prescribing, the actual prescribing, but I love their level of information. SAFM is fantastic if you are looking for a certification. It's going to take you about 2 to 3 years to go through that certification, but they tend to be the most affordable option. And if you're looking for root cause resolution, if you truly want to help people find the underlying cause of what their issues are and really get a grasp on kind of like what the body is doing and how we can help rebalance things, SAFM is the way to go. IFM, I personally don't have any experience with, but they are definitely a competitor when it comes to those three companies. Those three companies are huge into certification, educating healthcare practitioners on functional medicine and how to kind of implement it in the traditional healthcare system. So again, those last three that I just mentioned are definitely going to be your high price tag. They're going to be a large time commitment, and if you're looking for a full-blown certification, you're probably looking at a couple years commitment, although a lot of them have turned virtual. So that's awesome. You can do it in the comfort of your own home, in your own time. So that's nice. And then also there are a couple different pharmacists, fellow pharmacists out there who've created some different academies to kind of help you walk through these different things. And I'm not going to list any of those right now, but there are people out there that are kind of putting their own pharmacist spin on this whole area. So I just wanted to throw that out there and let you know that that is definitely something, if you're looking for people who have already done this and can implement it from start to finish, then there are definitely pharmacists out there that could probably help you. And so that pretty much wraps it up for today. If you have any questions about anything that I've said, please go ahead and put it in the comments. Again, I talked about how you can go ahead and implement functional medicine in your independent pharmacy, whether you want to do it or you don't want to do it if you want somebody else to do it. And then I went through a whole bunch of different resources that you could use to help educate yourself if this is an area that you're interested in promoting to you and offering to your community, whether you want to do it for free or you want to go ahead and pay for an actual course or certification. There's so much free information out there when it comes to functional medicine that you do not have to, number one, you don't have to recreate the wheel, and number two, you really don't have to pay an arm and a leg if if you're not sure if that's what you want to do. Maybe things are tight financially, you don't want to spend the money, that's fine. Or maybe you're just trying to feel it out and see if this is even something that's going to work well in your pharmacy. Does your community even have any interest in this space? So you can go and use all of those free resources that I listed and just start implementing some different things as you go, and just learn as you go. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable, honestly, and not knowing all the answers, and being able to say to patients, you know what, that's a really good question. I'm not really sure about the answer, but I will get back to you. So that's it for today. And like I said, please go ahead and ask any questions that you might have in the comments, and I'll be back with you guys next week.